Hello, in this video, I would like to explain insert, delete, and update statements of SQL. In the previous video, we created a table employee in the schema HR. So if you still have that, and we can use it. Otherwise, you can use this data definition language. I made it available in the tutorial file. So let's make a copy of it, okay? And go to your database and then paste it. And then here we have a data definition for the HR.employee. Okay, so let's execute it. Okay, so we successfully completed. So let's go to tables and refresh it. So now we have a HR.employee table available. Okay, but let me create one more query window so that we can show you how to enter the data and then also the update and delete them. All right, so let me show you those statements using the statements available in the tutorial. So let me make a copy of it and then let me explain one by one. Okay, so to enter data, what you need is a insert statement. Insert into, and then a table name, hl.employee. So obviously hl is a schema, and employee is a table. And then column names, empid, lname, fname, and salary. Okay, and then values. And then after that, you need to enter the values like this. If you remember, empid has a data type integer, so 101. And the lname, fname have a data type and varchar. In that case, you need to use a single quote like this. So single quote Smith, and single quote John, single quote and comma 10,000. So if you write it and then execute it, okay, and then one data entry is done. So to check it, always we can use a this one, select star from HR employee. So let's take a look. So here we have one data, one row in this table, 1 Smith John 10,000. Also, you can enter many data points at the same time like this. So same syntax, insert into table name, and the column names and the values. Okay, and then you can have multiple entries like this, like 102 Johnson, Paul, 80,000, 103 Benson, Mary, 11, 100, 10,000, and so on. Okay, so let's execute it and see how it goes. So everything is now executed. So if you look at the data, so now we have 4 points of data. Okay, this is how you enter data using SQL insert statement. Okay, another way of entering the data is using a graphical user interface. So let's do that. So go to your database and tables, and then your table hl.employee, and click the right mouse button, and you will find edit top 200 rows. Okay, so let's click it, and then you will find a graphical table so that you can enter data over here. So let's do that. 105. Okay, and you will find some red dot. This will disappear after you enter the whole row. Okay, so how about let's enter some data. Okay, so you can do whatever you want. Okay, now let's have one more. 106. What name you want to enter? How about, well, Benson. okay, and Steve, okay, and whatever salary. Okay, so if you move to the next cursor, and then the red dot will disappear, and this data will be permanent. In database, we call committed. So all these data points, data entries are now committed. So let's take a look. If you execute the select star from hl.employee, and then you will see and the data you just entered. By the way, star means all the data, all the columns. Another way of seeing the data you entered is using graphical user interface. So let's take a look at it. So go back to your database, and then find the employee, hl.employee, right mouse button, and then select top 1000 rows. Okay, so click it, and then they will generate a SQL code like a select and the column names and from the table name, and then they will show you these data you entered. By the way, top 1000 meaning when you have a lot of data, they show maximum 1000 data points from employee table. Okay, so by the way, over here, so this is a table name, employee, and HL is a schema name, and bkim-db is a database name. So if you remember in my previous lecture note, you probably remember in a database we can have many schemas. In one schema we can have many employees. Okay. Alright, so let's look at how to update the data. Okay, so let me make a copy of these statements first, and then explain how it works. Okay, so I'll make a copy and go to the SQL Server and then paste it. Okay. Alright, so the syntax is actually pretty simple. Here we have update, okay, and the set to specify the changes, and then where about the conditions for changes to be made. So let's take a look at the data first. Remember, select star from table name will show you all the data currently there. So okay, so here we have 101 through all the way to 106. Okay, so how about if we want to give a $10,000 raise for employee ID 101? So let's give John Smith. Let's give John Smith a 10,000 raise. Okay, to do that, we need a update statement. So update hl.employee, the table name, where the employee ID is 101. So John Smith, employee ID 101. Okay, and then we give a $10,000 raise to his current salary. So this salary is actually current salary, which is 100,000. So you add a 10,000 to 100,000, so this will make 110,000, and then we will assign this new value to the as a new value to salary column of employee 101. By the way, this operator is called assignment. So left side of the assignment operation is a column, okay, and the right side of the operation is actual value. So when you look at this salary, we actually evaluate the column salary and to 100,000. So $100,000 plus $10,000, so that will make $110,000, and then we assign to the column of employee 101 salary. Okay, so let's execute it and see how it goes. So when you execute that, so first you have to select only this one and execute it. Okay, let's take a look at what is the new value for 101. Okay, so 101 now has a $10,000 raise, so his current salary now has become $110,000. As you can see over here, in the select statement we use the where, just like in the update statement. So after where we can specify the condition like employee ID or name or anything. Okay. How about next example? In the next example, why don't we give a 20% raise, 20% raise to employee 102. Okay, so let's take a look at the current value. So 102 has a currently making $80,000. So let's give him a 20% raise, 20% raise. Okay, to do that, specify the table name hl.employee where that shows the condition for employee ID. So where employee ID is 102. Okay, so current value, this salary is showing the current value of $80,000, and then you multiply that by 1.2, basically giving him or her a 20% raise. Okay, and once you calculate the new value, we'll assign that to a salary column of employee ID 102. Okay, so let's execute that and see how it goes. Okay, so it's successfully updated, and let's use a select statement where the employee ID is 102 and see what the value has become. So now the 102, Paul Johnson, is making $96,000 from $80,000. So he got a 20% raise. What a lucky guy. Another strong point of update statement is they can actually update many rows, many people's salary all at the same time. So how about this? We're going to give a 20% raise for anybody, any employees making less than or equal to $100,000. Okay, so that can be more than one person. It can be a lot of people. So let's take a look at current data. So here we have 101 making more than 100,000, but 102, 104, and 105, and 106, they are all making less than or equal to $100,000. So this statement basically give a 102, 104, 105, and 106 a 20% very generous raise. Okay, so let's do that. So when you update it, okay, so 4 rows are affected, and take a look what's the data looks like. So now, as you can see over here, so those people who used to make less than or equal to $100,000 now making 20% more. Okay, now let's look at how to delete the data. Alright, so let's make a copy of these statements. Okay, so make a copy and go to our statements. So let me clean the slate. Okay, if you want to, you can always create a new query, whichever you want. Okay, and paste it. Alright, so this is what we have. So let's take a look at what's the what data we have right now. So here we have 101, 102, all the way to 106, and they have a lot of arrays from a previous update statements. Okay, so for whatever reasons, I want to remove employee 101. Okay, and to do that, we need a delete statement. So delete, and then you have to specify the conditions using where. Okay, so this one is saying delete employee ID 101 row data. Okay, let's do that. So when you execute it, okay, it's successfully done, and then take a look at the data. So 101 is now gone. So that's how it works. Like the update statement, delete can also delete multiple rows as far as they satisfy the where condition. Okay, so let's look at this. What this statement does is remove or delete all the employees making or more than equal to $110,000. Okay, so in this case, so we have people like 102, 103. Yeah, those are the two guys making more than $100,000. So after we execute this one, those two guys will disappear. So let's take a look. Alright, so let's execute it. Okay, and then take a look. So as predicted, those guys are making more than or equal to $110,000 now gone. Okay. Another very convenient statement you want to remember is this: delete and the table name. This is actually one of the statements a lot of students are confused with. This one does not delete the table. Actually, this one just delete the data from the table. So delete hl.employee basically deletes all the data in the employee table, but employee table is still there. Okay, so let's do that. So let's execute it. So if you look at the data, there should be none. Okay, there's no data, but let me refresh these tables. So still, as you can see over here, hl.employee table are still there. Okay, so in this video we talked about insert, update, and delete SQL statements. Alright, thank you.